So basically, when you are trying to learn some programming language, okay, programming language in the sense we are giving some instructions to the machine to understand it, and it's going to do the job which we are trying to perform. Okay, that is what our programming language definition we can say. Suppose if you want to do something like read a pen drive, what you'll do? There is an inbuilt program to your hardware device, so which will read your pen drive and shows you the what are the files we have, what are the information you have inside it, everything. Right? Suppose if you're writing a programming language, suppose you want to do a mathematical calculation of addition 1 plus 2. So what you'll do, you'll write a program, say sum of 1 plus 2, depends on language, or add of 1 plus 2. Or you can open a calculator, say 1 plus 2. That is what we will do. Am I right? That is what the calculation will do. So that instructions, that calculation, how to perform by a machine, we are giving that instructions basically. Okay, without defining you, suppose if you are working with an your transaction some amount from your Bank of America account, you need to transfer some 100 rupees from your account to your friend account. How the system knows that you're logging into your account and you're transferring some amount to the other account which is already added in your account list. So these are all comes under the programming language only. Okay, this is the programming language. This is a small example I gave you. But how the programming language will work in your software industry? Okay, so basically, when you are thinking about a particular application, okay, let us take example as I already gave you an example like transaction of 100 rupees from account 1 to account 2. Now, you need to understand the architecture of your application. Okay, that is what the main important point of an application when you're trying to build or trying to involve to work in it. There will be a number of applications, banking application, e-commerce application, okay, something like online order, e-commerce will come under that. So hotel management system, something like that, you will get a more different platforms are there, like Paytm, okay, phone pay, bank transactions के लिए, mobile recharge, we have a phone pay, Paytm and everything. So to build this type of applications, we need to understand the architecture of it. Okay, first of all, we need to concentrate on the architecture. Architecture means you need to plan how a mission will work. Okay, so I'm going to explain that basic architecture of an application. Okay, basic architecture. It is a common for every applications, and that too, I can say it is a basic web application architecture. We are talking about a web applications or mobile applications, mobile apps. You don't involve a data science here or ML or something like that. Okay, that is a different concept. Now we are discussing about a web application or mobile application architecture. Okay. Now here architecture will be divided into three sections. I can say one is client side. Okay. And second part is the server side. Server side we are going to have a two types. One is middleware. Here I'm going to say it is a middleware. This is client side, middleware, and finally we are going to have a backend, which is nothing but a database. Okay, this is my backend. Okay, this is the backend. You have a three different sections here when you are thinking about an architectural way. Okay, client side, middleware, and backend. So client side means here you will get a front end languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, okay, React, Angular, React or Angular because any framework will be chosen, Vue, etc. Okay, this comes under in the client side. So whatever the UI you are seeing, suppose you are opening a Bank of America application. So you are hitting www.bankofamerica.com. Okay. Now here you are seeing a visualization of a Bank of America web page. That is what your UI will comes under. Okay. Here to build this web application, I mean front end, they used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, either of the framework like React, Angular, or Vue. That depends. Now, this is your front end. Hey, what happened? CSS is not loading. Okay. Anyways, I'll take another one also. Let us take HDFC. You may know about the HDFC also. Let's see whether this, yeah, this is loading. What about Bank of America? It's still taking time. That's fine. So here, this is your web application, which we are trying to load in the client side. And now I want to do some backend interaction because I have some account in this HDFC bank. I want to log in it. So what I'll do, I'll click on login net banking. So this is comes under completely a front end application, which is a client side only using HTML, CSS, and some framework. We can do that. But now I clicked on login and I want to give some ID and password. So then the other structure will come in the picture called communication between a client side and middleware. We need to communicate between client and middleware, right? So there we will get we are passing a request to the middleware. Okay, I can say it is a request. So in this request, what we are trying to send, I'm trying to send about my user ID and password. Okay, in this request, I'm going to pass user ID and password, and that user ID password will captures by middleware. Okay, capture request from from front end. We are capturing the request from front end. So this is called middleware. So in this middleware, we may use different languages, say PHP, Java, Node, or Python. Python. Here, your Python will comes in the picture. Okay. We are requesting to the middleware saying, I'm sending this username. I'm trying to log into this user account with username, user ID, and password is so and so. Then this middleware will either of this language, you're writing a logic to capture this request, and then you're going to send a request to your database. This is also a request. Okay, whatever the user ID you captured. So in this request, you will say you may know about the database queries like select star from table. Okay, select user ID and password from something like user table. Okay, this type of queries we will write in the Python or Node or PHP or something, and we'll requesting to your database. So database will have a languages like Oracle, okay, Oracle, MySQL, okay, MongoDB, like this. Your database will be either of Oracle, MySQL, or MongoDB. Now I'm sending a request to check the user table with user ID, password matches. User ID is there and password matches are there. It's checked. So it is only one direction. It's going on. I'm sending a request to the middleware. Middleware is sending a request to the backend. Backend was received the data and it's checked in the table. Yes, it is user ID is presented and password is matching whatever I'm giving. Then what it will do, it's going to send a response back to the middleware. Okay. And this is your response. Okay. This is your response. Either it can be a success or failure. Success or failure. Okay. It's sending a data back, a response back to your middleware saying it's a success or failure. Success means yes, user is presented and password is matching. Okay. If failure means no, the user is not matching, password is not matching, something like that, some error messages will be sent back to it. Now the middleware again captures this data, this response, and it will format it and it will send a response back to the front end saying your username and password is correct, then your page will be redirected to the login screen. I mean, database, dashboard. We can call it as a dashboard, that dashboard page. If it is not a successful user, then what will show? It will show throws an error saying username and password is not matching like that. Okay, this is also a response back. This is the basic architecture. Okay, for any web application or mobile application. Say here, I can add a few more. In the front end, you may, if you are working with a mobile application, so you can have, let's give a space like this, yeah. And you can have, either it can be a Android for a mobile application. I'm saying Android for, what is it? iOS scale is Swift. If you want to write a code for Android and iOS, you can use React Native. And now in the market, React Native is good, and another one is Google Flutter. These are all comes under mobile applications, mobile apps. But the architecture will be same. You're going to define a front end using Android, Swift, React Native, or Flutter. But backend will be Python or PHP or Java or Node. Database will be your Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB. This is the basic architecture of every applications. I'm not saying this is the final architecture. This is the basic one. We need to understand before we jump into the development of your web applications or mobile applications. Okay. So any questions on this part? Can I get a message in the chat? If not, I'll move forward. Any questions, guys? No questions. Thank you. Others? Super. Thank you. Next. So now coming to the Python. So here, front end client side is a different part, back end is a different part. Now we are talking about a Python as we are going to start on the Python programming. Why Python? Okay. What is a Python actually? Python programming. Programming means this Python is going to have a, it's kind of a powerful, I can say one of the powerful programming language. It's an interpreter language. The most important point is it is an interpreter language. So interpreter language means that there have few features here. Okay, for Python के लिए we have few features. Let me take a new file. Okay, here we have some few features here for the Python programming language. Okay, in that one is a simple and readable structure. Okay, structure is pretty simple. Okay, if you already know some programming language, comparing to that, it's a pretty simple language. You can easily write down the code. So to show you that code for this session only, I'm going to use some editors, say Python compiler, online compilers. Okay, for maybe this session and next session. And going forward, we are going to work with the Visual Studio Code. Here, I'm going to write the programming and I'll execute it. I'll show you the output. Okay, for the few sessions, I'm going to work with the Programmize. Okay, it's an online compiler for your Python. So I'll show you. Suppose if you want to print some information in the Python, so you can say print. Sorry. What happened? Okay, there is a print hello message, and here we have a Python 3. Okay, the version of Python will be Python 3, and if I run it, you can see the output of it hello. So simply, if I want to show some function definition, you know about a function. So group of logic, I want to make it. Then I'm going to say definition, okay, print message of, okay, and give an indent. And here indent means this space. And now you can say print of hello world. Okay, give a semicolon. Now you can remove this. Okay, I just removed it. Now, here I defined a method, it's a function, and inside I gave an indent. You no need to give a braces, open parenthesis, like right parenthesis, less than, greater than symbol, something like that. You just need to give a space, and then you can write print hello world, just give a semicolon. If required, that's okay. If not, that's you can close it. And now you can use this print message, try to use in multiple places. Print message, print message, print message, print message. Now try to run. You got hello world 4 times. It's a simple programming law. The structure of your Python coding is pretty simple. Okay, comparing to other languages. Other languages, maybe you in your education, in your degree or somewhere in your post graduation, you may see a class, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, something like that. But here in the Python is pretty simple. There is no close parenthesis, there is no open parenthesis, something like that. You can write with an indent. You need to give an indent means a space. I'll in going forward sessions, I'll explain line by line. Don't worry. Okay. So this is what your the structure will be simple. But before going to the futures, I want to show you, I want to explain you, okay, I already covered one future here. I want to explain you where this Python will work. Okay, Python will involve, I can say, in which technologies, in which platforms we can use this Python first. Okay, so first one, web development, as we already discussed, I gave some idea here. And next, Python will use in the data science. Okay, and I can say machine learning, ML. Either in the data science and ML also Python was using, and it's building a libraries, machine learning tasks. It's Python was it's very powerful in that way. And we already know about Python in using in a artificial intelligence. In artificial intelligence, the Python is extensively using it for AI projects. Okay, there is another concept called NPL, which is called as a natural language processing. That is also Python is using that. We may not hear about it. So I can say or NPL, natural language, NLP, natural language process. Here Python will use. Okay, game development. I'm giving a few areas. Okay, game development ke liye they are using a Python. Okay, automation scriptings. Anything if you want to do automation scripting, something like that, you can use Python. Automation and scripting. Like this, in these areas, this Python is going to be used. Not only for the web development, maybe in I told you it's base characteristic of web development. In this, we are using a Python. No, Python is using in a web development as well as we can use in a different areas also like data science and machine learning, AI, gaming development, automations and scripting, so on. So still few more places are there. Maybe I can say networking. Okay, network programming, like this type of areas. Still, we can define more, but these are the few areas the Python is drastically changing. I mean, they are using Python drastically. For the web applications, now in the current market, we have Python and the Node. Okay, in the web applications currently, Python and Node is a okay. Python and Node was trending. If you want to get a job, Python and Node is a better option, or any of this language is good. And if you want to build an application, Python or Node for the performance side, it's very good. Okay, so some features are there in the both. So any of this is very good, but Python is little more good because in data science, AI, other stuff also we are involving that. Node is also involved, but only a few parts will be. I mean, few things will be works. Not the entire like data science, ML, AI is using the mostly Python will use in that. Now, coming to the features back, I told you simple and readable structure. Okay, one is the main feature. It's pretty simple to understand, and the concepts is also the naming of a particular concept will be varies based on your knowledge on a programming. Suppose if you say array, you may know about array, but in programming, I mean Python, we will say it as a list, like that. We have a different names, but the concept is same. Okay, that we will learn in the step by step in the next going forward sessions. Okay, now Python is an interpreter language. Interpreted, I can say, yeah, interpreted language. Interpreted language means there is no compile time. Whenever you're writing a program in Java, let us say example, you will run that Java program, compile it, get the output, then run that compiled file. That is what the process is going on in the Java. But in Python, there is no compiler here. We are directly, it is an interpreter language. So, which means that code will execute line by line, okay, without compilation. That's it. So whenever, so this helps you to do quicker development, right? You don't need to compile it and go to that, see the output, something like that. So whenever you're writing a code, directly run it. Automatically, it will show the line by line execution. If any breaks there, it will show the error. That's it. Okay. Next feature is like something like dynamic. What is it? Typing. Okay. Dynamic typed. I can say typing means typed. You will declare a types of variables, right? Variable type declaration like integer, number, sorry, integer, string, boolean, etc. Right? So this you don't need to declare a variable type explicitly. That's what this feature is going to be explain us. Okay, the dynamically you can change the variable types during the execution time. That is one of the features here. Okay, and it's another main feature is it's a cross platform. It's going to work in any platforms. It's a platform independent, I can say. You want to work in a Mac, Windows, yes, it will work. If you want a Mac, it will work. Unix, yes, it will work. Linux machines, yes, it will work. So there is no dependency. It's a multiple supported platform. It's not a platform. I can say it's a platform independent free language. Okay. Hmm. And another one of the important feature is larger ecosystem. Python is going to have a larger ecosystem, and you have libraries, frameworks, I can say. Means, suppose a small example in the previous session, I explained in a different concept. Like, I want to read an Excel file. You don't need to write a code. You have a library for that. You want to interact with some, you want to write a web applications APIs. You have what is it, Flask? You have that. Okay, what is it? Another frameworks libraries are there to write a web application APIs like that. Okay, so these are the core features in your in a Python. Okay, few more features are there. Okay, that we'll discuss in later on sessions. So these are the main which we need to understand when you are trying to understand where the Python will works. What are the features of it? Okay, now so these are the, as I told you, these are the features, and I showed you small example here how simple we are writing the code, but it's a very pretty simple code. So going forward, we are going to make more things. For other framework, I told you Django or Flask for writing a web APIs in the Python. Okay, these are the libraries we will use it here. Okay, so. Yeah. Okay, now here I'll stop this session, and every day, whatever the session I'm going to take, I'm going to record it. I will share you the videos, and the course content I'll explain in the next session. Okay, tomorrow morning 8 a.m. with the same URL, same meeting ID. Okay, and any questions I'll open to you on this Python training program before we wind up.
Sir, hi, sir. Rajkumar here. Hello?
Yes, Rajkumar, tell me. Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Sir, I'm actually from purely a non-technical background.
Mm-hmm.
So, and while learning Python, do we need to have any other skills like PHP or HTML?
Mm.
Do we need to have knowledge on them, or can we directly
No,
learn Python?
not required. For these sessions, you no need to learn anything because I'm going to cover each and every topic like conditionals, variables, everything. So you can kickstart with a Python. If you want to write any websites and everything, because Python is a backend language. If see here in the diagram I showed you, if you want to build some HTMLs or registration form, something like that, try to learn HTML and CSS and JavaScript. That's fair enough. But if you new to the programming, no need to worry because I'm going to explain each and every point here from scratch. So which will help you to understand the other languages also, like JavaScript, Java, or everything. Because in the Python, we are going to have a core Java, core programming as well as an object-oriented programming. Okay, I'll explain that.
Yes, sir. Sir, and how long it will be, sir? Course duration?
For the Python, we are planning for a 1 month. So mostly 30 days, we will try to complete it. If not,
Okay.
maybe 1 or 2 days will be extended. Okay. And one more thing,
Oh,
I'm going to show you. It's not a real-time project. I'll try to build some APIs. How in real time we will develop it, and I'll show you an examples, and I'll share you the code also to your practice area. And the daily, maybe not in the daily assignments. I'll try to give a daily assignments, or else every alternate days, definitely I'll give an assignments on the topics what we are covering.
yeah, okay, sir.
Which will helps you to understand, recollect the context, and you can easily understand. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, and one more request is this flow, the explanation and the speed of my teaching, will that okay, or you want me to make it a little bit slow, or you want to make it a little bit faster? Any suggestions? If this flow is good, I'll go with the same flow, same speed. Thanks, Krishna. And each topic, and one more point I want to add it here, each topic I'll explain you with the code itself. I'll write a code, I'll execute it, I'll show you. If any errors are came in the live session, I'll clear it in the live session itself. We will debug that. I'll show you how to debug it, how I'll show you how to fix such type of errors and everything. Okay. Any questions or any points we want to discuss here before we wind up? Yeah. Thanks, Vishnu. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow morning 8 a.m. Thank you. Bye for today.